And what we want to talk about today is just simply grains and oilseeds. So I'm going to give you a little update there. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the stocks recovering. Have they made a low? Could they come back down to the lows? That will matter for risk on, risk off trade. Weather mainly in South America, by the way. I am going to give a coffee update because we're seeing some interesting things on the chart today. And then a silver update, a kind of a freebie for all those folks that aren't on our spec program. You know, I like the metals. You know, I've talked about buying the metals. I don't know what you've done if you don't trade with us or if you're not on our spec program, but I know we've recommended some of these metals to be long. We're going to go over some of those, and we're going to finish up just by saying, hey, tune in for commodity intersection later day. We'll see how these grains finish up. But let's real quick look at the grain and oilseed update. There's just not a lot going on in our markets. We're in the middle of fall. We have a government shutdown. We're not getting any information out of USDA. This is a problem, and so therefore we're caught sideways. I got asked a little bit ago from a couple different clients about the ECO. Do we want to still stay long our corn at 420 when it's trading 411? I would look for a rally to get out. We're about halfway through the insurance setting period. I don't think corn is going to fall apart. I just don't think corn is going to rally strong. Could we drift back to 420, 424? Yes. Did we need the coverage after all? Probably not. But I don't think we're going to dive downward. Now, if we start diving downward, we'd have to exit that. But really, our biggest problem is we're in the middle of harvest. We don't have any data. I think the crops are smaller, as I've said many times. That hasn't changed. But we have a little bit of a problem here, not just a trade war, but maybe a Cold War. So we don't see China backing down. We don't see President Trump backing down. This is a problem because we know China is coming with those taxes that are going to be on any U.S. controlled, U.S. owned ships coming into their ports. And that is a big deal to counter some of the tariffs that President Trump has put on them. So right now we don't see any stalling to this. Hey, it's a long time till November 1st. We'll see what happens, but that's where we're at this morning. Now, Chinese soybean imports hit a new record in September, 12.9 million metric tons. Too bad they're not getting them from us. They're getting them out of South America. We know they bought a bunch from Argentina as well as they're cleaning Brazil out. Brazil FOB prices keep rising. That doesn't mean anything to China right now. This is in the middle of a trade war, Cold War, whatever you want to call it, and so they continue to buy beans out of South America. We did see palm oil down like 44 ringgits overnight, so it was pressured a little bit. World wheat prices just continue to drift lower, down a couple bucks FOB in Russia in the Black Sea area, and so nothing there. Soybean harvest should finish up by week's end. I would imagine a lot of you are getting close to that, but with any type of good weather, without rainfall coming in, we'll finish up beans here probably by this next weekend, this next Sunday, and that'll wrap up. Price direction will rely on USDA numbers, which we don't have, and tensions to be reduced with U.S. and China negotiations, and right now that isn't happening either.